everyone, and welcome to the Photosynthesis series. In this video, we'll be working through a question from the Eastern Cape November Paper 1 2025. This is a shorter question and it is worth 11 marks. So let's jump into it. Question 2.1 gives us a diagram that is found in a cell, and there are questions that we need to answer. I would like you to please pause the video and answer the questions. Right, so question 2.1.1 tells us that we need to identify the organelle above. The organelle is a chloroplast. The next question asks us to state visible reasons for the answer given. So we do not need to explain. There is no need to be writing half a page's worth of answers. You simply need to list two visible reasons. So reason number one, the presence of the thylakoid, the grana, the lamellae, the intergrana discs. That is one reason why we know this is a chloroplast. Reason number two, we can say that there is stroma present. Reason number three, we can say that there are starch granules present. We cannot say that there is a double membrane or an inner and outer membrane because mitochondria also have that feature. Therefore, we can't give that reason. The reasons we give have to be unique to chloroplasts. Question 2.1.3 asks us the following. Besides their locations, tabulate two differences between the process which occurs at A and the process which occurs at B. So process A is taking place in the stroma and process B is taking place in the thylakoid. Process A is dark phase, also known as the light independent phase. Process B is the light phase or the light dependent phase. So remember, you cannot list where these processes take place. So I'm not going to go through the answers, but you can pause the video over here and make a note of the answers. Question 2.1.4 asks you to list two biological importances of the process which occurs within the given organelle. So basically, why is photosynthesis biologically important? So we can go about this by thinking about what is produced by photosynthesis and also what photosynthesis absorbs. So what does photosynthesis produce? It produces food for animals. It produces oxygen for animals to breathe. It absorbs carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and it maintains a constant level of oxygen in the environment. So for this question, you can just think of the photosynthesis equation and then use that as a basis to answer your question. 2.1.5, describe one visible structural feature within the organelle that makes it suitable for its primary function. Right, now there are three parts to this question, or four parts to this question. Part number one is that you have to describe. Describe means that you list the thing and then you explain that thing. What is that thing? The structural feature. So when we look at the chloroplast, there are a number of structural features. And then once we have listed that structural feature, we then have to say how that feature enables photosynthesis, right? So when it says for its primary function is photosynthesis. So how do the different parts of the chloroplast allow it to carry out its function? So let's look at the grana or the thylakoids. The thylakoids carry a significant amount of chlorophyll to maximize photosynthesis, right? So the thylakoids have a lot of chlorophyll, which is the pigment that absorbs sunlight to maximize photosynthesis. We've listed the structural feature, which is the thylakoid, and we have stated how that feature is able to carry out photosynthesis. So feature number two is that it has a large surface area. So we can say that the lamellae or the multiple discs of thylakoid increase the surface area. What does this do? This means that a maximum amount of sunlight can absorb, a maximum amount of chlorophyll can absorb sunlight. If there is lots of surface area, lots of chlorophyll, this means that lots of sunlight can be absorbed. Feature number 3, we can say that it has a fluid stroma. So it is inside the stroma that chemical reactions take place for the light phase. So the stroma is the liquid medium. It's kind of like the cytoplasm of the chloroplast. It is the liquid medium in which chemical reactions take place. So once again, we list the physical feature and we explain how that feature enables photosynthesis. So that is how, that is how I want you to approach these kinds of questions. You need to approach it in a very systematic way. You list the feature and then you explain that exact feature. Right, now I'd like you to give yourself a mark out of 11 and then we can move on to the next video. If you are interested in more videos like these, you're welcome to follow the channel, like the TikToks, like the Reels, or whatever platform it is that you are watching this. Follow, and this will allow for me to create more content like this. Thank you.